Everybody, thank you for coming.
Hey guys.
Sorry about the 15-minute delay. And poor Robert. What is going on with his phone? But, anyways, our guest tonight is Amber. And thank God, she was patient enough to wait too.
Yeah, it was a beach day for me, so had
Oh,
nothing had nothing planned for tonight. I do have a kitten running around in the background, so I apologize for her. Just
no.
one though. The rest are locked out.
Yeah. So, the reason why I'm late is we're getting this kitchen remodeled. If y'all were in Pam's stream last night, you would have saw me unloading the cabinets for the kitchen. Boy, that was a mess. But I was setting up a camper and I was losing track of time. I left and I was like, I got 15 minutes to get home. Well, then I got stuck behind a slow car. I was mad. But anyways, enough of that. I'm gonna say a little hellos to the chat here. Wow, sucks when you're 15 minutes late. Got to go the whole way to the top. Hello, Ames, John McKenzie, Scotch Aquatics, Skull Aquatics, Freaky Fish Lady, J Rock, Old Miss Patty, Bob, Geek Boy, Dennis, Bigfoot Fish Tanks, Amber, Jenny Lynn, and Robert. Listen here, damn it, start your stream, Terry says. Well, it started. Finally, he shows up at one of my streams and he's giving me shit. Mike's Aquatics and Things. Jess from Maine's Tails, Furs, and Fins. And I think that's everybody. Stephen P's here. I Hate Stupid People. Dan Slee. Freaky Fish Lady. And I'm caught up. Yeah. That was quick.
Can you all hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, because I had to put on my headset because for some odd reason, with the sound on my end, it's just really low. But now everything's good. So
Jenny Lynch says, Bruiser CB says hi to everybody. She got some slaving in the kitchen.
Nice.
So, did you get most of your tanks set up? Ready to go?
I got a good number of them done. I still need to get plants in the... It's okay. By the way, this is the kitten who had mange and cigarette burns all over her body about a month ago when I found her. This is Butterbean. She's the last cat that I'm getting. I'm putting it on public record right now. Go ahead. But those tanks right there are going to be display planted tanks for my breeders. Right now they're just substrated. There are fish in them, but I don't have plants yet. I plan on going all the way up with those. They're 5 gallons. And then over here, those are a dozen tens that need different botanicals and guppy grass. I still have to hook up the air. And then over here, these are going to be 12, 20 highs to use for growing out the fry, because I use 10 gallons to breed, as when you lower the water level, small fry are easier to feed in a smaller area. It's part of why Dean Tweedell's fish like fry racks work so well, because it's very easy for them to find their food. So I like starting them in 10 gallons and then growing them out in 20s. So that's what I have going on in here, but I still have the carport and the screened-in porch and the living room, and I have lots of room for tanks here. I'm very excited.
That's good for you, though, especially if you want to get back into your breeding again.
Mm-hmm. And going from 192 tanks to this.
Oh yeah.
I have so much time. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I need more tanks.
You'll probably end up doing it. Honestly, you'll probably end up doing it just because you're used to it and you're gonna want to keep getting stuff.
Amber, I do want to say that I'm very jealous of you living where you do, because I would love to wake up every day and just go collecting, like you get a chance to do. But my question is so like, how many different species have you collected so far?
Collected, maybe about 5. But seen, I mean, there's a 16-inch, and I kid you not, he's 16 inches, tiger Oscar in a stream up the road from me. I've named him King Big Boy, and I bring him dried krill, and he comes right up. He's clearly somebody's pet that got too big. And then, let's see, I saw some species of gourami that I couldn't catch, but I did like identify them as some type of dwarf gourami. I've seen apistos. I've seen things that I didn't expect to see, but I couldn't collect them because a lot of things do require like a minnow trap. And I'm just, I'm working with a Walmart $30 pool net right now. That's what I'm using for a dip net. And you can only get so much, but I mean, the different colors and sizes and like patterns of the gambusia, which are mosquito fish, that's been pretty cool. And I've seen probably 5 different species of Achilles, if not more. So I'm jealous of me sometimes.
Yeah, that's got to be just like so cool, because like down there, their temperature and everything is just perfect just to have, like basically like every aquarium fish in the hobby, can basically survive in that water. And it's just cool, because like if you want something, you can just basically go to different spots and just get it out, without having to go to the pet store. So
and you don't even, that's the crazy thing for me. So I had a 15-foot U-Haul for the first 2 weeks of being here. And I was literally driving around with a bucket, a lid, and that pool net in the U-Haul, just driving along little like streams, waiting for them to get wider. I had the ultimate welcome to Florida moment where I turned down this little dirt road with this big old U-Haul. And I'm like, look at the Spanish moss. It's like a picturesque morning. And I realize it's a dead end road. And I'm like, I can turn around. And I'm doing like a 4-point turn. And I look up, and this house has probably a 20 by 10 foot American flag on the side. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then I look in the driveway, and there's this older gentleman who is built like a string bean with skin like a baseball glove, wearing this tiny little pair of red underwear, chainsawing a 2x4 in half. Like big old chainsaw. He's got his foot on it. He's just and I'm sitting there going, oh my God. Gives me the friendliest wave, picks up his Budweiser, takes a swig, and goes back to cutting. I'm like, wow, it's not even 9 a.m. Holy crap. Welcome to Florida.
Oh, yeah.
God. As long as I live, I will unfortunately, I will never forget.
You'll never see that.
Well, I mean, that was definitely a good welcome home top deal.
Oh yeah. The other one is the culture shock of going from Vermont, where it's all beef jerky, cheese, dried meat products, big on that. Like there's always a whole aisle in gas stations of beef jerky. Here it's like chicharrones, which are those fried pork skin little crispy things in a bag. I was just like, what are these? And then I tried one. They're magical.
Oh, yes.
But they have this tiny little section of beef jerky. I'm just like, oh, God. And there's no cheddar anywhere. So those 2 things in the first week, I was just like, I don't know how to do this. I'm too northern.
Yeah, it's definitely different down that way. Stephen, the truth seeker, asked, did you see any gators?
I did. I saw a little one scuttling across the road. He was only like this big, but I got very excited and pulled over and wanted to get out. And I was like, oh, but you're not supposed to interact with them even when they're little. I just wanted pictures. It's very tempting as someone who grew up loving Jurassic Park and like Steve Irwin and like nature documentaries to have a gator crossing up the road. It's very tempting when you see little ones to jump out and just take a picture. I don't want to pick it up or mess with it. Just want to. Oh, Skipper, you're muted.
My bad.
There you go.
Up here in Pennsylvania, we have these. I call them gator snapping turtles. They get a tail on them so stink. I mean, they get huge.
Mm-hmm.
We're driving down the road one day, me and my brother, and we saw this lady messing with this thing. She goes, I asked her, I said, "You trying to get your arm bit off?" She goes, "No, I'm trying to get it in this tote so I could take it home and show my kids." I'm like, "What?" So guess what my brother did? He loaded it up for her and she took it.
That dumb woman.
Yeah. Then I looked at my brother and said, "Why in the heck did you do that?" I said, "Her kids are probably going to be missing fingers."
Yeah, because people don't realize the thing about snappers is they can reach their head around to their tail. So there is no real safe spot to grab them because that neck comes out crazy long. No, I was never prouder of my mom than the one day she lugged a like 18-inch one out of the road in a sundress. All the like neighbor guys were pulled over in their trucks. One of them had a shotgun. He was fixing to shoot it. My mom's like, "No." And she literally just really fast grabbed it by the tail and hauled it back and forth like Z. So it couldn't really get a grip with its front claws to swing its head. And slung it in the ditch. And I was just like, "Wow, Mom, that was so cool." You don't mess with those things.
Mm-mm. Especially the gator snapping turtle, it can move its head easily.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a common snapping turtle, you can go up behind it and grab it.
Yeah.
And it can't get to you.
But alligator snappers are a whole different game.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't messing with it.
That lady must have had quite the. Can you imagine when her husband gets home? Her and the kids are in the yard, and she's like, "Babe, I need your help." I don't know what happened. Things got out of control. It might be under the couch. Like
he probably enjoyed it himself. Tell me, there's some individuals up here. I'll tell you, especially out here in the sticks.
Yeah. Again, I grew up in Vermont, so I completely understand that.
Yeah. There's quite a few people that showed. Oh, we got 30 watching. Thanks everybody for showing up.
Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out, seeing the slow progress I'm making here.
Well, it kind of looks a lot better than what I got going on, that's for sure.
You have plants. I have a little bit of Alodia left and a couple little tidbits of duckweed because there's no getting rid of duckweed.
Yeah, I know. I got a whole hello, Catfish Nation. I have a pond out front that I would like tomorrow move those guppies in, and it got so much duckweed in it. Because the person I got the plants from, it had duckweed in it, and I didn't know it.
You say it like duckweed's a bad thing. It's not.
I just didn't want to. I never wanted to deal with it, but well, now after I saw how well the guppies did outside with it, well, I think how well they did. I won't know till I. Thank God it's just one of those 20-gallon round ones.
Yeah, I've got a few of those. Yeah. Duckweed, for as annoying as it is, it does a lot of good things. Like most aquarium plants don't do well with super direct light. Like these are just LED shop lights, but as you can see, they're very bright. I think they're 5,000 K. So it can help with that. The nitrates that it pulls are stupid. Like it will pull a ton of nitrates faster than anything. And it actually gets a lot of good infusorium on the roots for fry. So I like duckweed. I just don't like when I used to do my 1 week water changes, I'd have like a 5-gallon bucket of stinky, wet duckweed that I was dumping out in the yard because I was like, you just too much of you.
Oh.
If it didn't grow so prolific, I don't think nearly as many people would dislike it.
Yeah, you see, like I've actually been pretty lucky. I don't have any duckweed whatsoever. I just have guppy grass, that I gotta keep on pull one out and I toss it away because, you can only take so much of it to the stores,
Yeah.
Send some to Amber. She needs it.
I uh, I
Well,
have
see, the only thing is like guppy grass doesn't really ship well though.
No.
no, but Haley's sending me a bunch of guppy grass and mixed stuff and snails to get these going because while they're fine for one fish the cycle, you can't have a spawn of fish in a tank that was cycled by one fish. Like
Yeah.
nothing makes a stronger cycle in my opinion than snails. So I want to get some of her amazing ram's horns in there.
Oh, yeah, her pink one she has. Is that the ones you're talking about?
Yeah, even her brown ram's horns throw random pink ones.
Yeah.
Even the feet are pink. She's really good snails and her water's really hard, so.
Patrick Hardy asked how many tanks you have up and running now.
So far it's this room and the porch, which this room is 24. So this room's 30, and then I have 15 20-gallon totes on the porch and maybe 5 10s. They're temporarily holding my ex's fish. I have to ship them to him hopefully soon. But yeah, that's it. Not a lot. It's pretty sad. I'm taking it slow, which
Yeah,
easy.
after the stream, I gotta take a sponge filter down to that cichlid tank I set up the other day. And I found some Trident Java fern at Petco. It's pretty healthy looking, actually, believe it or not. And I just went ahead and threw it in there for now. And the fish will be coming this week for it. So I'm doing the quick cycle method. I'm going to put some ram's horns in it too today.
Nice. By the way, I'm not laughing at you. I can see the little one behind you.
I
See your tail.
Yeah, you see, the little one was over there messing with the 3 10-gallons on the bottom rack.
Yeah, she because of the mange, which is like this super contagious skin parasite, she was living out on my porch in a large wire dog crate, like 4 feet by 3 feet, for a month, and she's finally indoors and she has space to run and she's going absolutely crazy.
Well, at least you brought her back to good health.
Yeah, she was in rough shape. I don't even want to think about it because it's not like just abandoned. She had cigarette burns on her, and
And Robert hit a button.
He did. Never hit the buttons. Should be a rule.
Yeah, I don't know. That poor guy, he has issues with his phone.
Yep, she's literally chasing her tail.
Then I ordered some plants from KJE Aquatics too. So that'll be coming soon, hopefully.
Oh, there he is.
Did you hit a button?
It's the wrong button. Yeah, I did.
You had a Pam incident and a Bob incident.
Yeah. This whole time, I've been getting like YouTube and Facebook notifications, and I'm trying to get them off, because they just keep on dinging.
Do you, so is that all? You going to do anything else besides betas, or I'm sure you probably said it in the stream I was in you with.
Yeah, I've done a lot of other things. I'm the kind of person where if I see something and I know I can keep it, like tank size wise, I'm going to figure out what it wants to be in, and I'm going to get it, and I'm going to try it for a while. So I've played it with most everything common you can think of, like 20 different tetras, like 15 different rasbora, like a dozen apistos. I got into killies for a while. I got into rainbow fish. Didn't play with the bigger species, just the blue eyes, which I think 5 different species of those. Live bears, rice fish, what else? Rams, angels with limited success. They're the one thing that I really think doesn't like doesn't like the way I do tanks because I try to set up biotopes or bioscapes and let the parents raise them naturally. That
Yeah.
doesn't work very well with those.
Huh.
What else? I've done jewels, red jewels, a lot of different species of gouramis. I've played around with the Indian pipefish, peacock gudgeons, pea puffers, gobies. It's a problem. I see something and I'm like, ooh, I wonder if I could keep you. And then I set him up and I'm like, well, I wonder how I could get him to breed.
Yeah.
Plecos, Lure Cartier, just the list goes on and on and on and on. Bettas. I have collectoritis.
So, I mean, you've dealt with a lot of nano species then too.
Yes, that's pretty much all I've owned with the exception of Bashirs and Oscars. Those are the only larger size fish that I've ever kept.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
probably going to end up with a Brashear. I see it coming because whenever I was at Keystone Clash, I helped set up that fish showroom for the judging and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I got to help a lady put one in a tank, and I was like, "Oh, I should not have did this. Now I want it." But since you had to pretty much start over with all your tanks and stuff, what do you are you just going to start breeding all different stuff, or just obviously betas you really like to breed?
Yeah. Well, Bettas are because I've been working with them since I was like 7. Like I'm not. It's been pretty much my entire life. I've been working with domestic Bettas, and in more recent years the wild types. But I do want to focus a little bit more in this place because most of my tanks are going to be in the office, which is only domestic Bettas. The carport and the lanai. So my plan for those is going to be live bears, neocaridinias, acaras, rams, apistos, all like nano South American cichlids. And then indoors, I'm going to limit myself in the living room to like maybe 40. That feels kind of low for me because eventually I'm going to be like, why didn't I add more? Why did I do them the long ways? This is crazy. But in those, I plan on playing with more projects. So I've always wanted to breed moonlight gouramis. I was never truly successful with my pipefish. I want to get another group of Shelleys going, things like that. So it's going to be random oddballs that I really like, and I like their biotope. And then dwarf South American cichlids, live bears, and bettas. That's the plan, at least. We'll see where I am in 2 years.
So that them tanks right behind you on your left, are those 20s?
Yes, 20 highs. I prefer the footprint because I have more vertical space than I do floor space.
Yeah.
And they fit a little better in the racks. But yeah, these are just about the only fish of mine that made it down. When you're moving, do not pack your fish for shipping and put them in a U-Haul. Like not in the back, because
Oh.
I thought in the styro containers they would be okay because it gets hot in the back of the USPS truck. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Bettas are very tough.
You'll be back to it soon enough.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So like, you kept all different species of the bettas and everything, but like now, like, is there one species that you like have not had the chance to keep yet that you've been trying to hunt? Well, as I like to call it, the bucket list betta.
With bettas, not so much. Over the years, I've bred every tail type of the domestics, and I've bred just over 100 of the wild species. I would like to get my hands on a pair of they were first discovered in 2018, Betta Candy. I would love to get some of those. They're not the candy koi that people think of that's a coloration of the domestic. They're a true wild type, but unfortunately we collected huge groups when we first discovered them, and now it's like, well, where'd they go? So, because they were found in a single swamp system in Indonesia. So, I mean, if I could get my hands on a pair of those, I would love to. But right now, my like bucket fish, and this is crazy, but I'm gonna breed Oscars. I love Oscars, and I had a group of Peruvian caught black wilds.
Oh, nice.
That I lost in a really unfortunate temperature issue with keeping them outdoors in Vermont. My own fault, obviously. But the colors on some of the wild types, not the tigers, it's crazy. And I would love to breed them because I've seen how they raise their babies and they're such good parents. So I know it might be easy, but I want to see it.
That'd be interesting. I don't think I ever seen, or well, I haven't really looked up, but a video of breeding Oscars and seeing them, how they do that. That's pretty interesting.
They're much like most other large cichlids. They clean off a spot of rock or like a tank bottom. They have their nest. They get wigglers and then they raise them up. But the interesting thing to me about Oscars is the parents will actually chew up food and spit it out for the babies and make sure the babies have eaten enough before they eat more often than not. And I just want to see that because, I mean, not to insult anyone, but I kind of believe we don't breed fish. We figure out how to set them up and then they do their thing because they're kept properly and they're happy. So for me, it's not so much, oh, I did something right, as getting to witness that type of fish do that type of angling or birthing, or so that for me would be really cool.
That's one thing I never had was an Oscar. I've been wanting to, but right now it's just space. I started the fish room. Now I got to get that all organized and everything. But then, like, you need a bigger tank. So right now I don't have the space for it.
Yeah, they need, for my group of 3, I wanted to do a 300-gallon tub. And if group of 4 in a 300-gallon tub. And had they grown up to a size where they spawned, I would have needed 2 probably 300-gallon tubs because the breeding pair and then the whatever they turned out to be pair.
Oh boy, Bob has a nice question. It says, Amber, I know you're a respected and highly sought after speaker. He's trying to remember if you ever published. If yes.
Not yet, but I do have several things that I've been working on. One of which would, if it goes through, one of which would be doing regular articles for tropical fish keeping, which would be very cool. I know a couple of the members over there because it's actually based out of Vermont. Fun fact.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that until like a year ago. But so hopefully soon. And I've also been compiling a number of different notes I have onto kind of a rough encyclopedia. I would like to travel more and work with more species, but at some point I would like to publish all of my notes into like a condensed kind of like log book for people to look through and see if there's something I've done that might help them in their breeding project. So things in the works, dreams, I guess.
Well, you just put your mind to it. You'll be able to do it. And another thing is time too. Like it takes a lot of time to do that, I would imagine.
Yeah. It takes a lot of time when you have a lot of fish too. That's part of it. I also work 2 jobs, so
yeah, that would take a lot of your time away, especially whenever you want to come home and be with your fish and stuff, and then how are you gonna have time to go out and explore more?
Yeah, that is true.
So like, what kind of lights do you use on those tanks? Because they look like they're pretty well lit up.
They are. These are just the standard little shop tube lights. These ones right here. Actually, all of this room is just the standard shop tube lighting, but I do prefer for long-term like tank setups for planted tanks that you want to like have more of a full spectrum type lighting. Sunco 5000K, I think is the reading on it. They're through Amazon. They're like $20 each, 48-inch lights. Those work great. I had those in the living room. I don't know if anyone in chat saw the living room of the house before, but all of those wall units were done with the Sunco lights. I don't use aquarium lights anymore. It just, the electric bill's too much, and these actually work better.
Yeah, you got to go LED now. Because it's way better on your pocket.
Yeah, it is. Oh, someone in chat asked about, Stephen Truth Seeker asked about breeding licorice gourami. I have bred licorice gourami back in the day. What are you eating? Hey, stop it.
Hello, GRB.
Sorry. Back in the day, I had 9 different species going on 5-gallon buckets on my fire escape in Queens up until my super told me it was like a safety hazard and I had to take them down because in case of a fire, I was blocking everyone off with my fish.
Yeah, I haven't really decided where I want to get, because I have quite a few fish right now. I got a couple different species. My main thing is Corydoras. I didn't put the video out there yet, but whenever I was at Petco and got them Java Fern, they had pygmy Corys for $1 a piece. Yeah, what sucks is I can only get 2 because that's all it was left. I was like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna get more in, because that was cheap. I'd have bought like 10 of them, but
yeah. One of the best Cory breeders I know actually does his in groups of 2 or 3 in 5-gallon tanks. You let a bunch of moss or Subwassertane just grow in. John Stoller from Circle City Aquarium Society, that's how he does it. And he has like Venezuelan blacks, like all these species I've never even heard of. He's talking about it. I'm like, it kind of looks like a stare-by. And he just stares at me. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm sorry. Kind of like when people start going off about plecos.
Oh, I get dumbfounded too. Like, I don't even know what they're talking about.
Some of these, they're like, oh, no, that's $500 L something. I'm like, it's white and black and stripedy. It's very cool, but why is it $500?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Like, especially like them zebra plecos.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, because I get it. They have a little pinstripe suit on. I get it, but I don't get it at the same time, because even though I breed Bettas, I mean, I know someone who once paid $1,000 for a breeding pair.
I can't do that. There's no way.
Even if I could, I wouldn't, because I mean, come on, it's a Betta.
Like speaking of the plecos, Bob Kaler and Maria Z, they both have some plecos that cost like double the price of the zebra plecos do, and they call them the L236s. And
yeah,
I mean,
could do.
Dan has some, and the zebras, and
yeah.
those $230, but those other ones are like double what the price of the zebras. I was like, golly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of fish like that nowadays. But I think what it is, they're hard to get. And unfortunately, as a lot of the places is, if nobody is taking good care of the environment where they're collected at, if you can't get them anymore and you got somebody that's breeding it, and they're going to sell it for a high price because it's such a rare fish.
Well, and that, and also too, like those are pretty hard to get to breed. And on top of that, like when you buy them, usually you're gonna buy them young, and then you got to have them for like 4 years or so before they even get up to the size to breed. I mean,
I think it just frustrates me because I've had species of wild bettas where I literally was the only person to have ever documented breeding these fish. Like so rare that you can't find them on Google. And people were coming to me and being like, that's not a real fish. That's not that you're making this up. You made a hybrid. When I tried to aquabit, I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
No. These are literally one of a kind. I'm the first one to get them imported. Are you kidding me? But that's so I might be a little bitter from that. Hey, like, are you serious? And now I see them with like $600 price tags for a pair. I'm like, yeah, because now people know they're a thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, so like in the future when that happens, what you need to do is listen, do you not know who I am? I am the queen of the Bettas, okay? I know what I'm talking about.
Very nice of you, but I wouldn't call myself, I mean, I did. That's what I called my website. Because an old, like 8 years ago, ex had, when I first got my channel, bought the URL Big City Bettas as a gift, and now he won't sell it back. I'm like, seriously, Steve, I want my URL back. Oh God. But no, I would never be that person. I would never be that person because I hate those people. When in the hobby, you're like at an expo or something. I've done that. I've done that with big names where we're standing in a group talking about fish. And they were talking about some species. And I was like, oh, you breed too? And they're just like, I'm such and such. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry for being human. Like,
I would have been like, yeah.
Never will I be like that.
So mad.
I hate that with people. Just everybody's at different levels on different things. Like, yes, I might be really good at breeding bettas. I can't take apart a car engine to save my life. I mean, I can take it apart, but I can't put it back together in a way that functions. So everybody has their thing,
Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm jacks of all trade, but a master of none. So I just know a little bit enough to get by.
Yeah.
If it's something I can't figure out, I'll research it, or I'm just going to pay somebody to do it.
A good example is I've built some really cool aquarium racks over the years, and some I think I showed a few on my channel, and my ex showed a few on his. And I was talking to someone recently. One of my friends. I'm trying to pack up things for the U-Haul, and I was like, I need that saw. And I'm on the phone. He's like, what's that? I'm like, the one with like the sticky outy blade. And he goes, oh my God, Amber, a sawzall. I'm like, I don't know what it's called. It looks like an alligator. You have built some ridiculous stands, racks. I'm like, I know how to use the tools. I don't know what they're called. That's a drill. Like, that's about it. I know that there's I know belt sander versus like orbital, but I don't know. I went into the hardware store recently to buy a sander, and the lady's like, no, an orbital's this, you wanted that. I'm like, I want the one with the spinny disc, ma'am. And she just stared at me. You know what I mean? I'm like, DeWalt, please. Like, take me to the DeWalt section and I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So even things I'm good at, I'm no expert. I'm like, can you hand me that, the one that's shaped, the one that's shaped like a stop sign? And I get this look, Allen wrench. I'm like, sure. Is that what it is? It looks like a little stop sign.
Oh.
That was a recent conversation at the hardware store, telling them I need one of those little key thingies that's shaped like a stop sign. And the guy just stared at me for 30 seconds. And I was like, yeah, for like furniture, it's a little L. And like mine turning it. And he just, you mean an Allen key set? I was like, yeah, sure.
Oh my. My
carpenter father, who's not dead yet, is rolling over in his grave because that just killed him.
Oh boy, it's so funny because I know if I was standing behind you, I'd have been laughing my butt off.
Oh, probably. Kind of like when I lost the bolts to attach the legs to my desk. It's an old kitchen table. And I just needed, I didn't need the bolts. I needed the nuts. So I took one of the legs into Aubuchon, and everyone's staring at me like, what the hell is she doing? As I have this huge wooden table leg walk in. And the guy's like, ma'am, do you need help? I'm like, yes, I need the nuts that will fit this. And he stared at me, and I'm like, I'm really not good at measuring things. I figured I'd just bring this in instead of coming back 5 times. It works.
Sometimes that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I'm about to do that with a stainless steel work table where I don't know where the bolts went to that. So I'm just going to take the whole top in and be like, these are the holes. It can't be bigger than these.
Well, I got to say, I mean, that is something that I've done myself. And also, by the way, you do have good taste in tool brands because you did say DeWalt, so
yes. Terrible luck with Craftsman.
Listen, it's just like a Harley Davidson. You're paying for the stinking name. Don't have nothing
until you break it. Because if you have the Pro line, that's like a lifetime. It doesn't matter what you do to it. They just give you a new one. Mm-hmm. And I need that. I need that in my life because I break things.
If you go to Home Depot, there's a brand called Rigid. They do the same thing. And
do they?
Yeah, and it's cheaper.
Wow.
I get that because main reason why I won't get DeWalt is because 1, the price, 2, I don't use it every stinking day. I'm not making money with it. So I try to find something that's just as good and cheaper because Milwaukee's another one that is really expensive, but they also have that same warranty system.
Yes.
I just, whatever. If it don't work, it breaks, I throw it away and go get another one. I just can't do that.
Thing is, when you do a lot of projects and you don't even know what the thing's called, so you're probably using it wrong, you tend to break tools.
Yeah, you got a point there.
I mean, to be real. Let's see. Does this saw blade cut through metal? Let's find out. Nope. Oh, dear. Yeah, people in the chat, hand me that thing.
So Amber, I do have to ask you, there is a Dallas, what's it called again? The Dallas Aquashella is coming up, and now, are you planning on going to that by chance?
I am.
Awesome.
I don't know how much time work's going to give me off, but I'm definitely planning on going.
Well, then I will see you there because I'll be going with Chattanooga, Ed and James. So
nice. Ed's a good buddy. James is too, but Ed and I have a bond over Marvel. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Marvel definitely beats DC any day.
Yes, Marvel. That's how a lot of the fish community knows me because my Expo backpack is a Captain America shield. And it's very hard to miss that. So a number of people who've met me have met me after seeing the shield, and then they just kind of are like, oh, yeah, you're that girl. I'm like, yeah. I don't hide my nerdiness. It's right there. Like.
Oh, Patty throwing her digs in at you there, Robert.
Well, thank you, Patty.
Steven has a Marvel-related costume idea. That sounds excellent. I'm going to be going as Rosie the Riveter, just because it works. Very appropriate considering what I had to do just on this house alone to move in.
Yeah.
Yes. Dallas was fun. I did go the last year before they stopped doing expos. The traffic, I just hope the venue was closer to the hotel than last time because I hate Dallas traffic. I hate Dallas traffic.
Yeah.
It's like Jersey traffic, but they have no fear. It's like they're the only ones on the road.
Oh, yeah. I was down in San Antonio, Texas, and I witnessed that. Luckily, I wasn't driving. I was in a cab going to the, I think it's called the Riverwalk Mall. Anyways, and I was looking. I was like, man, I thought Pennsylvania drivers were nuts. This got us beat.
Mhm.
Vegas is the same way. I had to drive in Vegas, and I was scaring the people that was in the van with me. They were like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Driving like Vegas people." They got scared. Literally, they were scared. I said, "If you just sit there, you're going to be like fish in shark water." I said, "Ain't happening."
Yeah. For me, the scariest drivers will always be New York City yellow cab drivers. My God, those guys. Number of times I've been being taken home from a bar. Of all the times, and I'm like, wow, just politely reach out the window. I'm like, I can slap this other car. Look at this. Like, guys' mirrors are literally like almost rubbing the windows, and I'm like, this is okay. Okay, what was your name? Cool. Just wanted to know your name before we die together. Like, no, that's not a good time. That's not a good time. Because the whole point is they want to move because as soon as they drop you off, they can pick somebody else up. And it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. Only time as an adult I've almost wet my pants was in the back of a New York City cab because the driving was just way too much.
And T-Benz has a question. He has a tank that is designed specifically for betas. It's a Fluval Flex 34 liter or 9.5 gallon, but I can't keep betas alive in the tank. The water parameters are fine. He just don't get it.
You know, sometimes those kind of tanks can like put out too much flow. I mean,
oh yeah, because sitting in my head, I'm just looking at the space. That could be a good part of it. Pretty much all of my tanks with live plants, except for my grow outs, which I mean, like this one behind me, there's like 40 fish in there. I couldn't do that just on plants in a 20 gallon, but I run Wallstead on most everything, and Bettas in particular really appreciate that, which is just a substrate, live plants, and a light. Like, they might need a heater, depending on, that could be another thing. Mm-hmm. Your heat. If your heat is below 78 degrees, you're going to have a problem with the Betta.
T-Bones is from Australia. I don't know how cool it gets there in their winter months or whatever, but
most people in hot climates run AC in their houses.
Yeah, it's true too.
Which is why most of the people that I run into who have temperature problems are the ones that live in hot climates because they're cooling their house down and it's like 72 degrees.
Right. You know, Amber, you know, now that you said that, you know, with the temperature, that's probably why that I've always had, you know, like issues with keeping bettas. I mean, you know, that's mainly why I quit keeping them, because I just didn't want to kill them anymore, you know, because of not knowing what was going on. So,
yep, temperature and also diet. Bettas are obligate insectivores, meaning their digestive tract can only break down insects. So if you're feeding a dried food that's high in vegetables or even other fish protein, they're not really going to be able to digest it properly. And that can lead to constipation, malnutrition, bloodworms.
Got it.
Just God bless the bloodworm. Jess!
What are you doing, you guys?
What great
Jess.
timing.
I know, right? I was like speeding to get home. I'm like, I gotta get out of my way.
Well, we can go on as long as we want because unfortunately, Susie Q will not be streaming tonight.
Oh, bless her heart.
Yeah, she lost her beauty.
Yeah.
That sucks. Terry wants to know if you're a member of the IBC.
Yes, I am actually the IBC's CARES ambassador for Bettas. So
Cool.
as of like 3 years ago, because nobody has yet to breed more wilds and take that title. I really hope somebody does because I don't entirely love working with CARES just because when you get to a certain capacity with them, all of your work becomes theirs and you cannot publish it without citing CARES, which is why it's my work.
Patty wants to know what you feed your betas besides bug bites and bloodworms. That must be what she feeds hers.
I like bloodworms. I like baby brine shrimp because those do have a similar protein content and like breakdown in the digestive tract as insects. Grindle worms, white worms, those are all really, really great. So those are my primary. And now here, I'm also collecting my own mosquito larvae, which is really fun and really gross because they're nasty.
I love to watch the Bettas hunt them.
That's fun.
And then I've got the adult brine shrimp that I raised up in the summertime. And I love watching them chase and hunt those too.
That's one thing I want to do.
You know, I think the key to that is the algae. Like when I start out in the summertime, I can't get them to grow, can't get them to go. But by midsummer, when the algae is like covered and it looks horrible, that's when they start growing.
So you talking about the mosquito larva?
Nope. Brine shrimp.
Oh, okay.
Shoot, mosquito larva, you just put a 5-gallon bucket outside with water in it, you're going to have mosquito larva.
Yeah, I missed that. I got distracted for a second.
I mean, I'm pretty distracted too. This kitten's literally climbing up.
Hey, Amber, so you're coming to Dallas, right?
Yes.
How are you? Are you coming? Are you leaving Thursday? It's going to take you, what, 17, 18, 19, 20
no,
hours?
I'm going to have to fly because I can't get the time off from work, which I hate.
Okay.
I hate flying.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person who's like, can you just medicate me and put me in a crate like a dog?
Exactly.
Just pour me in the crate.
Get me there. I don't want to know I'm on it. Just get me there.
On that note, the last time I flew, I had 3 cocktails in the airport bar, and then 2 on flight, which they cut me off saying I was only allowed 2, and I'm like, but what? Well, because maybe with the Xanax that I'd taken on top of the other 2 drinks,
oh Jesus!
I woke up to this tiny little Asian woman shaking me, going, "Ma'am, wake up, we are here!" And I'm like, "Oh God, what?" I'm like, "Oh, what happened?" She's like, "Oh my God!" And she said something on her radio. I'm like, "Did I die?"
Oh, that's funny.
What is it?
It don't bother me because I was in the Air Force and I know how the planes work, so it doesn't really bother me none.
I was going to tell you that if you were driving and you needed a stopping point, I'm a little further than Midway, but you could definitely stop and hang out, stay a night, whatever, if you were going to drive.
The next time I'm driving through, I might take you up on that.
Yeah.
This time with work, I don't think they're going to let me.
Yeah. It's Dallas is only 4. Well, Dallas. The city's only 4 hours from here. Mississippi hippie Sherry, that's what she's going to do. She's going to drive from Mississippi to my house. And then I I believe she's gonna leave her car and then go with me, and we'll only take the one truck, my truck, and then we're gonna get Shanna from the airport.
Well, that'd be good.
Oh, nice.
Hi.
So
So Stephen P asked, is there benefits of keeping betas at like 82 or 84 degrees versus 80? Was trying to find a happy medium for his tank mates.
Not any unless you're trying to breed, really. It speeds up their metabolism. So, I mean, they're going to eat more and be a little more active, but that's the only thing, really.
God, I look like crap. Look like I've been working all day.
You know, I came in from 2 hours of paddleboarding at the beach and was like, you know what? It's fine.
I got dirt on my face still. It's like all yucky. And
You look perfectly fine to me.
Yeah.
okay, well, good. I guess that's all that matters because this is like
Yep.
forever recorded. You know, that's what I always think.
Except for that dirt spot on the edge of your nose there.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, I don't
No, I'm just messing with you.
And I don't even know how I got so dirty because, like, I mean, I know why I got scratched up, but I don't remember getting anything on my face. But whatever, I guess it did.
Patty asked, if you speed up their metabolism, wouldn't that mean a shorter lifespan for the beta?
It can, yes. But the few degree difference isn't really going to make the difference between like 5 and 10 years. So, yeah, there's that. But for raising up bettas, a lot of people will bump the heat to like 88, 90. That does shorten their lifespan. That is an extreme. You need to calm down now a little bit.
Yeah, that does sound kind of high to me.
Yes. Sorry, I was trying to get this kitten to calm down. She's like, I'm out of the cage. I'm never going back. For those that wondered in the background, yes, that was her climbing up the rack and falling into the garbage can. Absolutely what just happened behind me.
The background makes everything shiny and glittery. Yeah, like my face.
You're fine. Quit it.
Patty puts her fish in the fridge so they never die.
You said that? Oh.
Someone joking in chat.
Well, watch it, Stephen P. She'll go after you.
Some people do that with their axolotls, don't
That's
they?
okay, Bob.
There's a sick kitty. Aw. I couldn't work around a place like that. I would take all of them home.
Yeah. There's a
And
reason
Joe would really be mad at me.
Yeah.
There's a reason that cat's running around the background. Just let me tell you. So I was told no on getting a cat for like a year. Finally got 2. Lost 1 due to cancer.
Yeah.
And then since the breakup, it's been a kitten a month. I've been fighting. I'm like, this needs to stop. Because my self-control on keeping pets walked out the door 3 months ago, and y'all can't keep finding me. They're like,
they
she's
know.
weak. Yeah, they're like, this one has food and she's weak. I can smell it. She has others at home.
Oh.
But no.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. God, I get it.
Yeah, he says that's karma.
Amber, I do got a question. Like I was thinking about maybe trying betas at least one more time, but so like, but I was kind of wanting to get those. I forgot the name of them. You know, but the kind that actually like will hold their with their eggs inside their mouth.
Mouth brooders.
Yeah. The wild ones, I guess, would be the correct term. But do you recommend a species, you know, for somebody who's not had any experience with them?
Better
to start out with.
If you want a mouth brooder, Better Rubra would be a good one to start with. They're easy to find. They're not hyper aggressive in a community. And the males don't tend to be super shy, which is part of why they swallow their eggs. So I always recommend first timers who want a mouth brooder to go Bettas. They're fantastic little
Okay.
fish. They're also very pretty.
Thank you very much.
The name literally translates to red betta. And another fun fact about those is there's like, I think 17 different locales and subspecies, but let me find right here. See if my phone will work.
I need to write that down real quick.
Here's what the males look like.
Cool.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
That's spawn garb. So when they're not in spawning attire, they're not going to have the vivid red on the gill plates. The bodies aren't going to have, oh, AT&T telling me it's time to pay my bill. They aren't going to have that iridescence around the fins, and they aren't going to have the white behind the gill plates. That all fires up when they're spawning, and their eyes actually do kind of a lamp eye effect, similar to a lot of rainbow fish. The iridescence is actually very similar to a lot of rainbow fish, the way the colors kind of pulsate and flash.
So like with that species, do you still have to keep the male and female separate until they are in breeding condition, like you do the other ones, or can you just keep them?
That's the cool thing with a number of wilds is you can literally just keep them in a well-planted aquarium and they will do their thing. With domestic bettas, we actually bred that aggression into them specifically for fighting. So think of wild bettas as the more chill, drabber, wild versions of domestics. So domestics are always going to be more vivid, longer fins, more aggressive. Wilds are, for the most part, pretty chill. You do have some that can't cohabitate.
What size tank would be best to raise them in, or whatever?
For Betta Hendra, usually a 20-gallon is good to start. 20 long if you can, because they'll use the floor more than they will up and down. Their Betta rubra are actually found from a systemic swamp system out of Malaysia and Indonesia, which means they're two enclosed systems. So there's no outbreeding or inbreeding. They were actually lost to science for about 13 years, I think it was, because the village had closed off all contact with the outside, essentially. So we couldn't get in to collect any for years.
Wow. Got a little lap dog there.
Yeah, it's the mama. She just jumped up. Mama.
She's adorable.
Mama.
There's
gonna be another mama. I'm gonna bring her with me, Amber. She's coming, and so is Lena to Uppershella. They're coming with me.
Oh, that's going to be cool. And that being said, I was just about go, with that question. I was going to ask you if he's going to be bringing them or not.
Yep, I was going to, and then I wasn't going to, and now I'm going to again. So yeah, Lena's kind of popular, and there's so many people that want to see her again. So, and then I can't bring Lena and not bring Rainey. So I feel bad if I left Rainey at home. So yep, I'm gonna bring them both, and they're good. They're real good. So no issues.
They're cute.
Yeah, they are cute, and she's so fuzzy. She's like, golly, like a carpet, or maybe like a bear. Like, golly, she's got so much hair. Lena doesn't have as much hair as she does, but Lena got more after her daddy.
Gracie, the hot dog dog.
Yeah, Gracie, the hot dog dog.
The hot dog dog. Yeah. Every day.
Yeah.
Now,
Give her a hot dog.
Give her her hot dog. Yeah.
Speaking of that, Jess, so like, are you going to be getting them a costume as well?
I was thinking about it. There's a little shrimp costume for dogs, and I was really, it's not expensive, so I was really thinking about it. I don't know. I go back and forth about clothes for dogs, for animals.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, I think sometimes it's cute, like Halloween, it would be a good excuse, but like, I don't know. To each their own, but I'm not going to dress my dogs up every day to take them outside. but maybe for a special occasion, we might. We'll see. We'll see.
Amber, I'm going to say one more thing, and then I'll shut up and I'll let Skipper and them talk. Anyway, speaking of those wild bettas that we were just talking about, do you happen to have any that you sell by any chance?
I don't. I did lose pretty much all of my fish except for a few domestics in the back of that U-Haul. But I will be getting those again. Those are one of the first species I want to start working with again.
Well, then I'll just hold out until you get some and start breeding them. I'll give you a call.
Steven, Jenna's not coming? I thought she was coming to Aquashella with you. And that way she could pet Lena.
Well, she ain't.
Aw. Well, yes, you're more than welcome to. That's what I'm bringing them for.
I forgot about this.
Somebody showed Lefty that. His cats want to kill him, it sounds like.
Oh my God, yes.
They will sit there and growl. Well, not really with a growl, but they're.
It sounds like it. Sounds like
it's kind of.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of like the whole time you think that he's going to get hit and tore up. It's funny.
Right.
And this is a kitten that when I found her, she had never been held by people. Yes, but now I'm so happy.
Oh, well, dang. But yes, you're more than welcome. That's what I'm bringing them for.
Yes, hi.
Hey, Amber, with the Betta Splendens, the aggression was bred into them.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think, as we get them over here in the States and we breed them here in the States, that maybe some of the aggression is being bred out of them?
I think maybe a little, but they were also bred for 500 plus years for aggression. Mm-hmm. So I think that it's going to take a lot because that was the sole reason people were breeding them for many, many years. So a lot of the genetics are really ingrained.
Do you find that one is more aggressive than the other, like a crown tail than a Dumbo?
Crown tails tend to be more aggressive. Crown tail placottes, which are the short tail version of crown tails, are the worst aggression I've ever worked with in bettas.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, the red strains, I think it's because it takes so much inbreeding, and that's one of the original fighter colors.
Mm-hmm.
But those tend to be just awful. I will say that giant bettas are extremely peaceful for the most part. Most of the males are so non-aggressive and derpy, they can't even breed because they're like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to dance.
Yeah. Yeah. I've found that with a lot of the long fins.
Hello, Furlough.
Like, I have a long fin koi. He bred once, and now he's like, okay, I'll just live with her. We're just going to shack up. We're good. I've actually got two that way, and I'm like, one I got from up Orlando, and I was so excited to bring him home and try to breed him. And he's just like, nah, just going to shack up.
Sometimes I think the longer fins get so heavy, they're just like, this is way too much work, lady.
Yeah,
like, exactly. I don't know what you think I'm up for, but we can be roommates.
Yeah, exactly. It don't matter how much protein you put to them. I just think they get tired. Sorry.
Yeah, or you just call it the married life, I guess. It's like we don't care anymore because we're just married.
Exactly. Yep. aggravating, but that's exactly how it makes me feel.
Mhm.
It makes me feel that way.
Oh man,
I'm sorry. I just
I
had
gotta leave that
to.
alone. I gotta leave that alone.
Yeah. Sometimes with those, though, you can trigger them by keeping the tank very warm, like 88 degrees,
Mhm.
and then doing a 50% cooler water change, like maybe 75 degrees,
Mhm.
because it stimulates rain flow. And at that point, their metabolisms have been going so high for so long, they're just like, well, maybe tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't have a headache tonight.
Yeah. I'll try that because I've got 2 of them that I got 1 baby out of the last one, and that's all my fault. There were more babies. There were a lot more babies. And
You can
yeah,
try
I
what
messed
Gary
that up.
says.
What? Crush up the food skills as
Yeah.
I don't think that works in fish,
Well-
Gary.
What's up, Chubbs?
Well,
Hey, Chud.
I probably wouldn't because Beta would have so much like testosterone. He would be jumping out of the tank on
You'd
you.
be running into the
Yeah.
glass.
It would just be attacking everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure enough.
Now you have me
Then
Googling
if it
things that
lasted
I shouldn't
4
be.
hours, you'd have to take him to the doctor.
Yeah. What are you Googling again? I didn't hear what you said.
As Google just pointed out to me, Viagra would not affect a fish because fish lack the organ that Viagra primarily works with. So there we go. No,
There you
Viagra
go.
was not. Maybe live there. But... Yes, I Googled it. I wanted to know.
Man, if that works, I'm going to try it. Listen, they don't have blood. They don't have blood flow.
It's not an organ they possess. So
Right?
that's actually how Google
I can just
started
see
to
it now.
explain it to me. Was fish do not possess the genitals required, or the genitalia organ required for Viagra to have the desired effect. And I was like, what? And then I thought about it and I was like, oh God.
I'll be able to sleep tonight knowing that now.
Maybe if your live bearers aren't doing what they want, that might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
I can just see it now. Like as a fish keeper, you're going to the doctor, tell them that you need it. About listen, it's not for me. It's for my fish.
This is what happens when you're like scientifically minded. You go, I wonder, and then you Google something, and somebody somewhere puts you on a list.
Oh yeah.
Like I've no doubt the things I've Googled just out of curiosity.
Well, somebody else has already asked it because it's there. So
Yeah.
you're not the first.
Several answers on several sites on the first page. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, Jeremy.
Hello, Bold Mama. Thanks for stopping in. And Fishy
Hey,
Mon.
Mama.
I gotta say something. I don't believe this 1 minute, because that's not you. You don't have to change. We like your inappropriate jokes.
Fishy Mon.
Yes, I'm reading the chat and I'm like, well, look what I did. I was curious. Like I said, a number of things I've Googled because I had an idea or I was curious, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my
Yep.
goodness.
Yep.
Some little man in a cubicle somewhere is now going to be watching all of my random Google bull crap because they're like, what's on this lady? Just keep fish, I swear. The number of times I have gotten myself into trouble or said something highly inappropriate and been like, I keep fish. There's a logical explanation for this. Kind of like calling companies asking about just the concrete casket tubs that they lower them into the ground into, and asking for like 10, but not wanting the caskets or coffins to go with it. And they're like,
Right.
we really don't feel comfortable about this, ma'am. And I'm like, if I come in, like,
Right.
no.
Well, you're actually in a place where you could do that now in Florida.
That is true, and yet they still questioned me when I called out of curiosity. They were like, "Why do you need 10?" I'm like, "I keep fish," and they're like, "Man, we're a funeral supply company." I'm like, "Yeah, but you also have the cheapest prices in town. Can we just like
Right.
theoretically talk?" And she's like,
Right.
"Man, we are really uncomfortable with this. Like, we usually do quantities of 50 to certified funeral homes," and I'm like, "Well, I need 10.
Right.
And I don't need the coffins." Like,
There's a fish place down there in Florida that it looks like that's what they have outside.
Imperial Tropics.
Yeah, there's another one too. It's a fish store, not really a
They
breeder.
do say that's one of the best things to keep them in.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy that when I was growing up, he had a bunch of them, and I always wondered why he had them. And he was raising crawfish. I was like,
Oh,
okay. Usually they do them in the ponds out here, but he wasn't doing them in the ponds. He was doing them in those.
easier to get to.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yep.
Wonder if I can get one of them.
Oh, I'd love some. I'd stack them up. I got my horse trailer's full of those. I've got 3 of those big, like, I don't know how many gallons, 500 gallons, 200, 300 gallon. They have the steel frame around them.
Oh, the galvanized stock tub.
Yeah. I've got 3 of those that were only supposed to have not chemicals. It was food, some kind of food in them, or milk or something like that. But they're still sitting in my horse trailer. I was like, well, I hope I don't need my horse trailer anytime soon, because they weren't too easy to get in there. I couldn't do it by myself.
Yeah, those things are hefty.
Yeah. I got to get them out there soon, because and I got to get water in them. They don't.
But that's how it is. You don't want to deal with your husband being like, "Why did you need these? You're not going to use them." And then you're like, "No, I'm going to use them." And then they sit in the yard for 5 months, so you get to be told, "No, it's better that they're in the horse trailer."
Yeah. At least they're not getting the direct sun, because the sun just tears them suckers up. It dry rots the plastic. And so I guess, I mean, it really is a good thing they are still in the horse trailer.
What are they called again? See, you talking about? I'd have to see what one looks like.
Yeah, the big steel frame and the plastic.
Oh, you talking about the IBC tapes?
I don't know what they're called. I'm being like Amber. I don't know what it's called, but it looks like this.
Yeah.
It's got a steel
They
frame.
got a sheet metal frame, and the toad itself is white, right?
Yeah. And it's got a it does have a spigot down at the bottom, a drain hole at the bottom, and it's got the round opening at the top.
Jess,
Yep.
we're going to have to hang out in Dallas and just confuse the hell out of
sure.
anybody who we try to explain something to.
No, I just
I was so relating to you when y'all were talking about that when I was on my way. I was like, God, that's me. Y'all hear me do that all the time on the morning show. Well, it looks like this. I mean, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like this and this. Yeah. Oh, I know. I so relate.
It's a struggle, especially when you're trying to buy something and you're like, I don't know what it's called, but here's what it looks like, and here's how I used it.
Yeah. Or you go in there and you're making something, and so you try to tell the person, okay, well, this is what I need it to do. How do I put it together? And they're saying, well, what is it for? Is it aquarium? What?
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, IBC tape. I figured. Oh, mine's driving me nuts.
Yep. I can get more of them too, but if I got to get these 3 unloaded first before I go get any more.
What would you use that for?
And you cut I'm gonna cut the top off and use them for ponds.
Okay. I saw what Blake's Exotic Animal Ranch got quite a few of them, and he made. Okay. All right.
And also, Jess, since you have a saltwater tank and stuff, and you do like day for breeding, like you can also use them to put your what's it called, RO water
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
like to store.
Yeah. See, that's yesterday after after those 2 days of dealing with the saltwater tank. And as much as I ran that RO unit, there's like a mud hole in my backyard. And I let I let Lena and Caliber out to play yesterday. And I forgot that mold hole was there. And they found it.
They were
Which is why I
real
didn't
fast,
actually get to go work yesterday because I had to bathe dogs. And oh my God, she got it like all in her ear, her left ear, like it was like solid on the inside of the mud. So I'm sitting there with Q-tip, just she had it everywhere. It's like the first time she ever seen mud.
Kind of like when I pulled this little one in, and I was doing so good. Hey, we're not eating fish. Butterbean. Oh God. When I brought her in, hey, for
You
real.
might want to get that cat.
She looks like just going for a swim.
She's fearless. Come here. You're not crawling in the tank.
Oh, that'd have been hilarious.
She's like, ooh, sushi.
All the way.
It's going to be a good night after dinner.
Hey, you will get kicked out. Oh my God. Anyway, she gave the other 3 fleas, so I had to flea bathe 4 cats.
Ooh.
And only one of them goes limp when she's wet. The rest fight like spider monkeys on crack hooked to an electric wire. Like,
You put a collar on them just to hold them.
I had claw marks across my arm, like a honey badger went after me. My manager at work, because I'm in a tank top, he's like, "Oh my God, what happened?" I'm like, "You ever tried to bathe 4 cats in an hour? Have you?"
Yeah.
Because that's my experience before work, because you called me in early.
Yeah.
I'm still bleeding.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, even you can see some of the scratches on my hands have not healed from that experience.
That's too funny.
Or they sit there and they sit there and just cry.
Oh, that would have
Aggravating.
been a wonderful, wonderful experience compared to like getting my face nearly clawed off. I'm like, you all have fleas. I can't let you just stay. Worst part was one of them, I had him hooked to a harness, tied to like back on my tub. And right as I finished getting him soaked up, he broke the harness. It was just soapy, climbing up everything, claws and teeth. I'm like, wow, you're lucky I like you, or it would be out the window. Like,
yeah. Oh, I know it.
She really was just crawling into that tank.
Yes.
Jeez. Oh, no, the cat was staring at a fish in that tank.
Terry, it's driving him nuts that you have all that space and all those empty tanks. It's driving him nuts, he said earlier.
Well, send her the money to get all the fish she wants, and they won't be empty no more.
Yeah, no kidding. That's going to be a lot of money.
Right.
Nah, because these are breeding tanks, so I just have to get spawns going, and eventually it'll fill in. But the living room's going to drive you even crazier, Terry, because I'm going to build out all 3 racks before I even put tanks on them. So there's just going to be empty tank racks sitting there waiting.
You'll have to do a stream right in front of them just to aggravate Terry.
I'll invite him on. Oh,
there you go. There you go.
You may regret that.
Oh.
42 stitches later.
Yeah, right.
Wow. Dang.
Well, it's time to close this. I got work to do.
I'm gonna go eat.
Same.
Well, that's kind of good because my phone is on fire, and this whole time, it's been cutting in and out. I'm like, just please let me stay on this one time. I'm like, come on, it's Amber. Just let me stay on.
Oh, Jesus.
I appreciate that. No. 20 gallon, Betta Hendra. I seriously think you should look into it. And if you don't want to wait for someone like me to have it, Aquabid. There are good sellers in the US on Aquabid. Breed wild.
That's where I got my Achilles.
More people need to
Thank
breed
you
wild.
very,
I got
much.
a bunch of my
All right, everybody
Awesome.
in chat, thank you for showing up. Amber, thanks for being our guest tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was really
And-
fun. I do apologize for the terrorist cat in the background.
Shoot. I think no big deal.
I know
That just shows
Patty,
you
I
the
might get over there
animals.
But and Robert and Jess, thanks for being here too. I appreciate it.
Sorry I was late.
Thank you for having me up here.
You're welcome. All right, everybody.
Amber, we'll hang out for sure, girl.
Yes, ma'am.